Well, hello everybody. Welcome into the LTL True Crime Podcast. Oh my God, it is already November 17th, 2023. We're here on this Friday night, hanging out here in the live chat with the live show. We're broadcasting across 4 media streams: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. But we like everybody coming over here on the home base on LTL True Crime Podcast here on YouTube. So if you're over on any of those platforms, look us up on YouTube, come over, subscribe. We have a live chat. You can hang out, and we have fantastic mods and fantastic members and people that come into our chat and hang out. So my friends, we are going to get right into the show tonight. Excuse me. We're going to talk a little Idaho. I haven't done that in quite a while. I have my Vandal shirt on tonight in support of the 4 victims. And what we're going to do is go through a interview that Bryan Entin had with Steve and Kristi Goncalves the other day, just as the FBI was returning back to the home in Moscow on Halloween. A little weird and creepy, but on December 31st, 2023, they did take that interview and cut it down, I think, to a 5 to 8 minute segment, but we're going to see the interview in its entirety. And then what I did today was I went through and did a bunch of notes so I can tell you where we're going to be leading in that interview as we go along. So I'll stop, explain what's going to happen, explain what they're going to talk about, and you're going to hear a lot of new information in this interview. I don't know if you guys saw this or caught any of this. There is tons of new information as to what Steve and Kristi know and what they've been able to find out through this investigation. I found it really compelling. I was like, oh my God. And I started noting the times and putting notes in there. So we're going to go through it. And I think, again, I think I'm just drawn to this because Steve and Kristi have been the most vocal. Not that the other victims' family haven't, but they've been very vocal from the start. And I made some notes here and I said, you're going to see Steve and Kristi talk about how this has been affecting them, how it's been living this past year without Kaylee, and people tend to shit on them a lot. Saying that they're camera chasers and that they want to just be media moguls. And I have to disagree, completely disagree with that. And, the reason that I look at this is if that was my daughter, I would be out there every single day on every single media outlet that I could be talking about keeping my daughter's memory alive and making sure that this case is out there to the forefront and then people understand what happened. And then we ultimately find justice in this case. Like I said, I commend them. They're definitely fighters and they've brought transparency to how families live through these horrible situations. I would never want to live what they've gone through, and you can see it on their faces. And this is what I always say, and people have to understand, all these other creators or news organizations, well, I would say news organizations, but most of these creators that shame them and put a lot of shit on them, your life goes on. You can see it. Their life has stopped. You can see it on their face. They're tired. They're weary. They want to get to this trial and get some justice. And I just have a hard time with everybody shitting on them. I really do. And then, we're going to talk about, it just never ends. Like I said, it never ends. And you're going to see the hardship that it creates in all of this. And you'll get this unbelievable sense of how the family lives through this grief. So I'm not going to wait too much longer here. We'll pull up the presentation. It is from NewsNation. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I know I haven't done an Idaho stream in quite some time, but it's really nice to have everybody here. And we'll open up the presentation, and I'll just go through my notes and call that out when we get to the certain parts. But here we go. The full interview with Kristi and Steve Goncalves the other day. So let's play that.
Right now. So I will talk a little more after the interview, but take a look.
Some days it's just
let me just turn, I had it on double speed because it's making notes and preparing. Let me go back to normal. Here we go.
Really, you cannot even run and hide from it. And other days I could just put myself and, I could go about my day. And
all
then,
the girls are asking for this and that.
And I'm back to work, and my work people are amazing. And then I come home and I'm just like.
Now you're going to notice through this, I'm going to kind of be pulling my mouse back and forth, and you'll see the title pop up in the time. The reason I'm doing that is so I can make sure I mark before my notes. I have a lot of notes here that I want to go through and just kind of give you guys an idea of, what's going on in this interview.
Yeah, that's why you don't like driving the vehicle, because it always.
I hate driving.
I
hate because the car to me is just dreadful. It's like a prison cell. Oh my!
You guys did a lot more with the vehicle too. You guys were the one who went and purchased it. So for me, it's just a memory of her.
Oh, her car. Yeah. Yes. It's so hard for me to look out, and it's out there every day, but it is so hard for me to look out there and see Kaylee's Range Rover, even though it was such a short time that she had it. And I say that, I'm like, it's so weird, but it was so Kaylee's car already. She had a Subaru Legacy for years.
Yeah.
It was a newer one. And that to me, you would think would, you see them around a lot, it's a pretty common car. That would, get me but it's not. It's that dang Range Rover, man. And yeah, I'll just I'll go out there on the back porch, and I just sit there, and I'm just
hello, what's going on? Good to see everybody.
Because it just is such a, it was just such a happy moment. Days before, hours, literally,
hello.
96 hours before this happened. You would never think, when we're sitting there running around Spokane, looking at cars, that in 3 days, she bought that on the 10th. And not even 3 days, because obviously it was, the early morning hours of that Sunday. But 2 days later, she'd be gone. And me, and 2 others. It's just, it is
well,
insane.
Cindy, how are you?
I don't know if I'll ever snap out of it. I don't know if I keep doing what I'm doing. I don't know if I go get myself in therapy because I'm a total basket case. I don't know.
You're always going to be a basket case.
I will
you
probably
started,
always be
you started the equation.
And people always say, oh, you're doing, they ask you,
look at the incredible wear on Kristi and Steve. You can just see it in their faces. And this is what I say, like, this never goes away. So we're going to have, coming up at about the 6 minute point in this interview, Kristi's going to talk about going down all the rabbit hole theories. And they truly, you get a true sense of, like, they truly really don't know the how and the why, the how and the why. So we're going to hear about that.
You doing, and your natural reaction is just to say, good, good for what we, good. But the answer is not good at all. How can you be?
Yeah.
I would be good if, that was my dog, I'd still, be okay if it was my, but this is my child and her best friend.
Yeah.
And
Not even like a
and,
broken marriage where they live separately and
Yeah.
they're still they find other people get happy. You still recover from something like this.
And unfortunately, you're left with your own thoughts. And I think that with me is pretty bad. Because those thoughts they just don't stop sometimes, and you just go down the rabbit hole and you're just like, okay, if that is what happened, then this happened and then this, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, get out of there quick, shut the door, like get out of that room. That room is, it's bad.
Okay, coming up in a minute here, Steve and Kristi are going to talk about driving Kaylee's car and the thoughts it brings to them, and then also they're going to talk about, and this is another little Easter egg I think we're getting. Some new information is that Steve's going to talk about the police removing the CPU inside that car, inside Kaylee's Range Rover, to get that data inside that car. So this was all new to me. And it's a really good little Easter egg they put in there.
So you won't go in that car. You don't.
I will. I will. And
but if we have a choice, it's always something else.
Yeah. And I have a tiny car. I have a little car, and obviously that's roomier and stuff. But I'm like, oh no, I'll take my dogs and we'll get in my car. And he, takes up my whole car pretty much. And I'm like, oh well, it's okay. Just make some room.
Yeah.
Scoot. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just very heartbreaking. And looking at it, riding in it. Yeah, I thought that I would drive it. I thought that we would probably switch. I'm like, well, probably, because we didn't get it back for a long time. And that car hit me hard.
6-7 months.
When we got that.
And that's new too. I never know that. 6-7 months to get her Range Rover back from the authorities.
Got that car back.
Yeah, I remember the pictures of you. There
Yeah.
were some pictures of you when you went and got it.
And it was like,
They pulled a chip out of it. It took them. It was a little bit more complicated to get it all working and running again.
It was definitely, getting that car back, because she had just put stuff in it. And I was talking to her as she was like packing it up, and she didn't. She unloaded some of it back at that house, but it mostly was all in there exactly.
I'm getting there. Thank you.
In like a time capsule for 6-7 months. That this all happened, and like her purse was in the back.
She backed up to that door right there and just put a bunch of stuff in the back.
All right, coming up at 8:35, Brian's going to ask, what does the year mark mean to you? And Kristi is going to talk about just that instinct to live. It's just really sad. It's a really sad interview.
So,
and
I was still there because I think
Murphy's crate
she had
was in there.
class on Monday, and that was it.
She was going to take some finals on Monday, and she was going to be back on Tuesday.
Yeah, I believe so. So she's just going to throw some of that stuff from her room into her car, come back.
You guys live this every day.
Good to see you.
Does the year mark mean anything? Does it feel any different, or is it just similar to how you feel every day?
Absolutely, Lee.
Yeah, symbolism, because it's a.
I think you said it right there. She says, hello, Brian. Just wanted to say, I understand that everyone loses a loved one, but not everyone has to deal with the situation of someone that takes a loved one from you. Absolutely. I've been through it. My best friend, I've been through that. I've dealt with suicide in my family, my brother. So, it's, those are two totally different dynamics, but it's not easy. And for no reason at all, it really does make a difference, because I lost my uncle at the age of 26 because of someone shot him. Lots of people don't get that, and it truly makes a difference. I'm sorry about your loss. It's just a very heartbreaking situation, and the waiting is just killing them. I know it is. All right, we'll keep playing through here.
The chapter, and it means a full year.
It does.
Every holiday has been.
She's been gone. She's missed everybody's birthday. We've missed hers.
Excuse me.
We've missed every holiday.
Her sisters don't want to be as old as her.
No, that's something that is really hard. That Autumn said, "What am I going to do when I'm older than my older sister?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then I thought about it, and I was like, "Oh." And I told Olivia, who obviously is older, so that will never happen, to Olivia, and she's like, "Yeah, I could see that, being something for Autumn." And you just don't understand. It's hard to get in everybody's head, and how everybody is dealing with this. As much as we still have young kids at home, Autumn and Aubrey. They're still young adults, and you can't just drag them into a counseling or therapy when they're like, no, 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 and no matter how bad you think they need it or not. I mean, you can't, when they're like, I'm not going. So I think we just kind of have been trying to deal with things on our own. And like I said, I don't know if we're doing good or bad, really. I mean, I'm not to say that all we do is sit around and cry. I mean, people ask me, and sometimes, and I said,
Hello.
well, here's the thing. I mean, if I could lay down and die, I probably would, but you can't. I mean, you physically, mentally, emotionally, you can't. I probably would have tried. You got to get up, no matter how you think. I'm never getting out of this bed ever. I'm not taking a shower.
Hello,
I'm
Jay.
eating.
Welcome in. Nice to see you.
You've got to. And I don't know if it's because of the other kids and the grandkids, my own will to live, my own husband. But we're human, and as a human, your instinct is to live.
Yeah, I'm going to say, just talking about the instinct to live. And then in about 20 seconds or 5 seconds, Brian's going to ask her, is it really weird to that the public knows you for this? How are those feelings and how do you deal with that? Just do me a favor. I just want to ask the mods to do this. When the chat is really light, like it is tonight, we only have about 55 people in here. Just don't use the exclamation, like I member, because what happens is it floods the chat. I have it on automatic, so it will automatically go. There's really not a ton of people in here to keep dropping that. So when there's, not anybody over like 100 people, let's refrain and pull back from doing that. Those exclamation commands, because the Nightbot will kind of take care of itself. Because sometimes I look up in the chat and someone will hit it, and then there's just tons of Nightbot stuff, and it kind of kills the chat. And so let's just kind of refrain on that. So when we get over like 100 people, that's fine. You can drop them, but the Nightbot will take care of itself. And tonight our chat it's a little light, so it may build, but it's no problem. We're still here. We're still hanging out, and I think this is a very informative stream. So back to the stream. Brian Entin's going to ask a question in about 5 seconds. Is it really weird that people know you for this? So let's keep playing.
Got to do. I mean, whether how painful it is,
no
or
problem at all.
You just try to put on the face and be happy and not make people cry, because you don't want to be the Debbie Downer in the room either. Everybody knows wherever you go. Oh, look who just. Oh.
Is that weird?
Yeah, you're like the dark cloud.
But I mean, I wear something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't expect people to not know who I am. We do interviews, we've gone publicly, so I don't want to be like, oh my, I would never tell somebody to go away or leave me alone. Or my kids have been like, Mom, that's weird. Like, I would be like, I would never do that to somebody, come up to them in public. And I'm like, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm not like everybody, me, or anything like that. But I if you recognize me out in public and you come up to me and say, hey, as a mother, I don't, it helps me. It makes me feel good. It does help. As weird as it sounds,
real quick. And then coming up here in a minute, Steve's going to talk about that. He knew that Kelly, oh God, that's so bad. Kaylee was set to do great things in life. I have no idea why I said Kelly. I mean, I know who a Kelly was in my life, but I don't know why that just came to me. It was really odd. All right, we'll keep playing through this.
So I mean, I don't get bothered by that, but the kids will be like, "Oh my gosh, well that was just really weird." I mean, we were literally in
Hey,
Target,
Wheels,
and that
how are
lady
you?
just came
Good to
from
see you.
nowhere, and I'm just like, you know,
Well, I think people like around the world feel like they know Kaylee, even though
Yeah.
they didn't really know her, but they just like saw something in her personality, feel inspired by her
Yeah.
now, which is kind of interesting that like, she's so well known everywhere
Mhm.
after
Yep.
she's gone.
yeah,
Yeah.
they would
I was
just,
waiting for people to get to know her. I knew she was going to be a world shaker. I always knew. I was like,
not like this, but
yeah, but she was such a hustler, and she got along with everyone. And I mean, even when this happened,
yeah,
vice president of the company, he showed a text from her manager, and he sent to the manager, "Who is this Kaylee girl? I keep hearing about her. Hearing
Mhm.
about her." And she did some work for them.
And then Steve's going to go on after this. They're going to talk about the horror that BK has created and the out of control delays in the trial. They've just been really upset with that. So we'll hear a little bit about that in a second. And that's going to carry through for about 5 minutes up until about the 18-minute mark. So we'll keep playing straight through here.
So I knew she was in the right place at the right time to make things happen. So, you know, that's why it was such a bad thing to try to get your head through and get your head around. And all these kids had so much potential, and they were doing everything the right thing. You know,
Excuse me.
they were doing everything the way you're supposed to. Go to school.
It's just crazy how
Do
one
everything.
person can come in and cause so much trauma, so much damage.
One
pain,
miserable person
you know,
goes after all the people that are.
and then we gotta go through hoops and loops and jumps to get him. I guess he's
Just
convicted to get him officially. I don't know where we're
Get a
doing
schedule
right now.
is what we're really hoping for, is a schedule. We were
Get the
hoping
death penalty.
there'd be a schedule before the year.
I don't know. I just
Yeah, even being in court today, like it just seems like such a slow process.
it is
It's like they're
agonizing.
discovering it as they go, because there's new technologies and there's new evidence in the gather.
See, this is what I talked about. I've always talked about this, and people just constantly think that this case is not being investigated. That is why the FBI went back into that home, because that the piece of equipment, and it's slipped my mind right now, but the scanning equipment, the Faro machine or Faro camera, because it's updated, that technology always gets updated, and it's always good to go back and 3D model, even when everything is out of that house. And that's what I was saying. And I was arguing with people. Oh, no, they're going back there and they're setting things up and blah, blah, blah. The conspiracy theories. No, they're going back into that home to get an accurate scan of that home without anything being in it. First, when that crime scene happened, they brought that machine in there and scanned the interior of that home. But now that everything's been cleaned out and brought out, they can go back in and just do an exact 3D model of that home with nothing in it. And, I don't know, maybe they went in there and did some sound tests. Let's hear if we made a noise. I mean, I didn't hear any of that reporting. I'm just saying maybe that's possible as well. Or they do new measurements in the home. But that's why they went back in and rescanned that home, because that technology is constantly updating, and they want to make sure that they have the most accurate, up-to-date information, because as this trial goes on, things get forgotten and technology can fall behind. I mean, you know how it is. Cell phones literally get updated like every month. We have a new cell phone coming out. So that's why they went back in and redid this.
Gathering of the evidence is a different technique than, these people read in a book. This stuff's not even in books yet.
Yeah.
So
like
have you
you
just
just
kind of
said,
accepted,
they're
like,
literally writing a book. They're using this case to write a book on all this new technology, and why not? Because if this can help solve a crime like this again, and God forbid there ever is a crime like this again, you're going to have a better advantage of solving that crime. All right, let's keep playing through here.
that it's going to be a while?
Great interview, by the way. Absolutely amazing interview.
I refuse. I mean, I'm still waiting for like a Hail Mary or a miracle or something and be like, it's, it's not going to, I realize it's going to be 2024, but I refuse to think it's going to be pushed any further out than that. I absolutely refuse to let myself think that. But all these big delays and, you get like so close, like that September date that got pushed back to October, 2 days before. I took everything out of me. I was down. I mean, I was literally down. I was sick. I felt like I was going to vomit. I put so much into these court dates, as little as they are. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it.
Corey, your wallet should be there by now, I would think. Pharaoh, yeah, I got it. Thank you. Your wallet should be there. Let me know if you got it, because I sent it quite a while ago. I want to make sure you got your wallet, because I didn't see anything that it was delivered. So I know I definitely sent it. Just let me know if you got it or not. And your story touched me, dude. I'm glad that I could get that to you, because it was like a perfect situation that worked out. But I definitely sent it. And if you didn't get it, I will track it and we'll find out. It didn't show up today, but maybe tomorrow. Perfect. I'm glad that it's on its way. I have the tracking number if you need it, but I'll track it tomorrow to make sure. But I'm so glad that I could get that to you, because after you told me your story, it completely touched me. Okay, we'll keep playing through.
Him to change his plea. I'm waiting for them to say, I don't know why.
I mean, can you believe, and I just want to pull this up for Barry, can you believe if they had this technology that they're using in the Idaho case right now, and they transport that back 20-something years, and we go back to 1995, the O.J. Simpson trial, that's over almost 30 years, right? With 28 years. Am I right on that? 95, might be over 30 years. Let me do my math here. 28 years. I was right when I first said it. 28 years. Could you imagine if they had this technology back then? Oh my God. I think we'd be in a different situation in that trial, right? How many of you agree? If you agree, if we had modern technology to go back to O.J. Simpson's trial and use this modern technology, do you think the verdict would have been different? Type a Y in the chat if you do, an N if you didn't. If you don't.
I don't know why.
Let me know.
I just think to myself, I like want to pray today and pray that he makes the right decision. And he says, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I get it. Like, it's costing so much. The lives have already been taken, but what he's doing to the families, and I don't know what goes on, and not having control of your life is just the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
It's the worst. I mean, for the most part, people, that are in control of their lives has somewhat control. I mean, there's always something that, is not in your control usually. But I mean, as parents and adults, we've always been fairly in control of our own lives.
So you mean the court process feels very out of control?
Oh, it's terrible.
You got to stack up your vacation time, because the speedy trial.
I want everybody to understand what's going on here. I mean, because again, their lives have to still go on. They still have to work. They still have to go about their daily. It's not like you lose a family member and your life stops. It doesn't work that way, especially how horrific they lost their daughter and their daughter's friend. But listen how it's almost, I wouldn't say burden, but listen, yeah, it's a burden. Listen to what it's doing to them. That this is the impact that it's put on the family. It's insane. Listen to this.
Sure. So, I stacked up my vacation.
We got close.
We thought there's got to be a little bit of a chance. I didn't think there was, but she was hoping for it.
I was hoping. I was like, no. I think we're going to, when they scheduled those dates, I was like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And Shannon's like, it ain't going to happen.
Well, I was just thinking today with everything they were talking about, how could they have ever done it? Like, there was so much.
It would have been, some would argue, benefit could have been, because those FBI agents in there working today is more evidence.
And I get that. And I have a good friend, my cousin, family member, and he tells me, he knows a lot.
That's a little Easter egg there too. I know it's a thought, it's opinion, but I said that too. There's got to be more evidence in that house that they're collecting. And I'm telling you, Wait till you hear more of these Easter eggs through this. I mean, I was like, oh my God, there was a lot of revealing information in this interview.
About the
But as we go on here at about 18-minute mark, Bryan Entin in about a minute is going to ask them, what is it like being in the courtroom?
system and whatnot. And he tells me, Kristi, it's actually a good thing because it just gives them more time. They're not just going to sit there and do nothing. They're going to continue to investigate. Things are going to continue to fall in their laps. Tips are going to continue to come in. And I'm just
Constant
like, I don't
open
want to hear
investigation.
that. Like, I want to see this guy die. Like, I don't want him breathing any longer because they say, oh, he's living in hell already. No, he's not. Not the hell that I think of. The hell that I think of is agonizing, literally terrifying, agonizing
Yeah,
torture
I know, Barry.
day in and day out.
Fucking dick.
I don't care. Lincoln County Jail is not agonizing. That is not hell. No.
What's it like? I've wondered when I've seen you guys, like, what is it like being in the courtroom? Because I think everybody feels strange in there because it's such a small space.
Yes,
It is so small.
it's not as big as the case. It's so puny. It's so small. It's hard to realize like something this big, and you're in this little goofy courtroom that seems like it's a prop, almost like a prop in a small movie or something.
Like it's one of those diagrams, and they're looking from out above, and you're flicking people off and driving a little car.
Yeah. So
it is.
It's got to be bizarre. It's got to be bizarre.
First part, obviously, is being in the same room with him,
Right?
And to sit here and look at this. I don't know what he is. To look at this thing and know what he has done. And I mean, like I said, you could make your own details up. And like you mentioned earlier, like you usually go into court and trial and
no problem, Jay. Feel better.
Starts getting dropped. And you start being like, oh, I know what's going to happen.
Not like
so
the movies.
I cannot even imagine. I cannot even imagine what we're going to hear. And I mean, that is none of what I'm looking forward to, wanting this to happen. And I don't know. I don't know if he's ever going to speak. It makes me sick that he sits there in his suits.
Yeah.
And he sits there and taps his hands and you're just sitting there and he, sits there and rocks back and forth in the chair. And I'm thinking, why is he sitting in a big old judge chair? Put him in a chair, I don't know why he's sitting in such a big, comfortable chair and all dressed up in a fresh haircut. And I've looked it up, never seen another murderer or whatever he is convicted. Up to this point of a case.
Yeah, he's not convicted. He's charged. And, they're on high emotion. You can't blame these people. They brutally lost their daughter to a brutal stabbing. I mean, you can't blame them. So I'm coming up here in about another minute or so. They're going to talk about, are they getting information from the prosecution? And they say they get no information. But they're pretty smart cats. And I thought they were pretty smart cats from the beginning of this. Steve, knowing Steve being an IT guy and figuring out what he could find out. I'm sure that people whisper around town too. So let's keep playing here.
Not in handcuffs, not in shackles, one or the other, or both, and in orange.
No, it was a mistake.
I don't understand why
he said convicted, but he corrected himself. He said, what did he just say? I forgot because I was on another train of thought. Let's go back.
That seems like it's a prop, almost like a prop in a small movie or something.
Like it's
so
one of those diagrams, and
make
they're
sure we
looking
get
from
clarity
above
in
and
it.
flicking people off.
Charged.
Driving a little car.
He said charged.
Yeah. So
it is. The worst part, obviously, is being in the same room.
You're in a very, listen, let me, you're in a spontaneous interview. You're talking without, preparation. They're just sitting down and talk to you. You're getting your thoughts. And listen, again, I just said, their daughter was brutally murdered, taken out by a K-bar knife, plunged through her. And, her daughter's best friend and 2 other roommates in that home. So it's very traumatic. And, your mind slips. I'm not perfect when I talk, but he corrected it. He said charged. So, we'll keep playing through here. I'm going to just speed it back up to where we were. And we'll go right here.
oh, judge chair. Put him in the
Charged.
chair,
Yep.
I don't know why he's sitting in such a big,
Right.
comfortable chair and all dressed up in a fresh haircut. And I've looked it up, never seen another murderer or whatever he is convicted. Up to this point of a case,
Corrected himself.
not in
Charged.
handcuffs, not in shackles, one or the other, or both, and in orange. I don't understand why he's sitting there
Pre-trial.
pre-trial. Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's just during like with the jury there.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
that's where they're biased. That's where they could
you
be
know,
formed a bias.
and I'll tell you what, I do feel differently about the way there is, because I mean, there is a different light that I feel shed on me when when I walk past the TV or something and his face will be on our screen or something. And when he's wearing orange versus like the original ones where he's in orange with his hair on the back of his neck and him all cleaned up. Not that I think he's nice looking or anything by all means, but it's
One's more like a business activity
it's
versus
totally two different people.
a criminal.
And they're just giving, and I'm just like, okay, and they're afraid that we're gonna, we're talking or saying something and gonna ruin the case, but you guys are letting him
portray himself.
Yeah, portray himself like this upperclassman and not bring him in wearing shackles or at least a pair of shackles around his ankles, at least.
Yeah, you don't want somebody accused of killing your daughter getting preferential treatment just because the case has got more attention than
I don't
normal.
understand why. Who made that call?
Do you feel like sorry, my voice is going. Do you feel like the prosecution is giving you enough information at this point?
We get no information at all.
We find it out ourselves, and then
We don't get that sounds so. Yeah, we don't get any. They don't. Yeah, we don't get any information. Like, hey, by the way, I mean, they did let us know. By the way, the FBI is going back in the house. They're going to be in the house on Tuesday and Wednesday, or whatever.
which is good because when that happens,
But-
our phones will ring. There's going to be people who reach out and say, "What's your comment?" And there has been times where we're not even sure what you're talking about.
But no,
They've done a better job of making sure that we get
as far
a
as
heads up.
things like like during I thought maybe like they would tell like maybe over the summer like, hey, we just want to let you know that we've kind of put together a little task force and this the next 2 weeks we plan on getting out in the
Have a good night.
Lolo Mountains or
Thanks for
whatever
stopping by.
and
Enough of
searching
that.
for the murder weapon. Or, no, we don't.
I know it.
You know,
I know it hurts your theory. I know it does. It really does hurt your theory. But I'd love to see you type in the chat, why you don't think that the evidence points towards Kohberger. I would love to see that. But I know you have no logical explanation of that because there is no logical explanation. Because I know the theory that you're going to come with, that this was planned. It was just all pinned on him. It was probably a cult. It was drug activity. Oh, he was just out, doing what college kids do. They just drive around. Well, you know what? Kind of sounds a lot like what the murderer was doing that night, driving around, right? So I know you don't have any logical explanation. I'm going to tell you, once you start seeing the cast information, and we're going to hear about that tonight too, because there's a nice Easter egg about that in here. But once we hear about that, I think you're going to be backing up against the wall. Why no alibi? Why no alibi? Why did he choose to stand in silence? So can you explain that? I'm going to tell you, if I was someone that was arrested and thrown in jail for a quadruple homicide, I'd be talking to every single media outlet possible, screaming at the top of my lungs that I did not did not do these murders. I am not responsible for it. I would be out there front and center every single day screaming that I didn't do this. Why no alibi? Because you have nothing, but it's fine. Have a good night. Godspeed. We're going to move on with the presentation.
or hey, we got.
I know you're still watching now.
And I understand a lot of that.
I mean, I guess people say, that's crazy. They would never give that.
I just told you.
I don't know because I've never.
I just told you. Are you serious? but you have not. You're coming. I just gave you the explanations. The cast information is going to put you there. You're going to hear later on all of Kaylee's electronics that they still have. Oh, and the Bluetooth speaker, they won't give that back yet, because I'm going to tell you why. Because when you went in there, this idiot had his phone on, and it probably connected to a Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth speaker in that house. Okay, and at the bottom, at the end of the day, the bottom line comes down to this, and I'm going to let you know. Okay, a K-bar knife sheath is found on a bed with 2 dead victims with Bryan Kohberger's DNA on it. The defense is going to have to explain for that, and they're not going to be able to, because they know that knife has his DNA, that knife sheath has his DNA on it. So I'm waiting for you to type in the chat. You know, people like this, it cracks me up. They always come with questions. Oh, what have you seen? No, I'm asking you. Let's hear your explanation. Because all you conspiracy theorists can never come up with one. You can never come up with an answer. You can never come up with an answer. Explain everything. Please type in the chat. Explain the DNA. Explain the cast information. I want you to do that for us, seriously. Explain the possibility of the car being caught on camera. Explain all the times that he drove in and around that neighborhood 12 times before everything happened on that night. Explain the possibility of the K-bar knife being purchased by him. Please, just let us know. That's all we want to know. Please let us know. Bryan Kohberger will have his day in court. Right now, as he sits in jail, he's an innocent guy. And he will get his due process. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of the evidence points towards him. But I know you throw the Constitution out there because you can't give us an explanation. And this is a debate. We can have a debate. I understand Bryan Kohberger is innocent until proven guilty. Absolutely 1000%. But when we have a friendly debate like this, I want to hear your side of the argument. This is what they do in court. You have a debate. You present evidence. You talk the facts. But you haven't done that. You're not doing that. You're hiding. But wait, I thought you were gone 5 minutes ago. We don't know if they've been. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, how did his DNA on a knife sheath end up on a bed with 2 dead victims? Oh, wait, I know what it is. The police planted it there, didn't they? It was all set up. They had this whole thing planned up for a year, didn't they? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Did the police do it? Is that your thought? Is that what it is? They did it, didn't they? Oh, wait, no, wait. It was Brent Kopacka, wasn't it? It was Brent Kopacka, right? Ian Harsh did it, right? We can debate like a court. We have the freedom to do that. I'm going to move on because I want to hear this interview. I think there's a lot of things that we need to get through there. But we're going to get into the about the 26-minute, and they're going to talk about the university's thoughts and responses. Let's keep playing through.
Never been involved in a murder
Thank you so
before
much
like
for the
this.
$4.99.
Obviously, so I don't know if it's crazy that we're asking for more information. I don't know, but we know just as much as always. We know just as much as the people.
See, it's funny because they won't say anything, and then when they find out that we know something, then they're like, tell us about that. And I'm like, oh, we could have told you about this a long time ago.
Right. There was an open.
Yeah, if there was a dialogue here, why is it when you know that we're onto something that's 100% you've already verified, then you want to cross notes? So
I mean, in hindsight, I don't know. who did what in the case.
Carrie,
I don't
thank you
know
for
how
the
much the FBI did
$4.99.
versus ISP
Carrie, thank you for
versus
the
the hospital.
$4.99.
I don't care. Kudos to
Simba,
all of
7
them.
months.
Yeah.
All of them.
7 months memberships says, hello, everybody. Prayers for the Idaho families. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. 7-month member. Wow. Thank you. Support.
Great job.
The investigators, our local guy, awesome. Payne. Look,
Brett,
I mean, great.
Darren.
ISP, it doesn't matter. But now that it's in court and it's not,
Good point.
I mean, they did their work, and I'm assuming
Great
they
point.
still go out there and I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine that that's all they do all day is just investigate the
Well, now it's
murder.
kind of shifted to the courtroom, and then that's where it gets
and
really
that's
quiet.
yeah. I mean, obviously they were quiet too. But they did
I think
they did solve it.
the problem that we get more into is like, if you're going to do something that,
But they go over the evidence to indict. To indict. We know that, Ariel. But they go over the evidence to indict. And they had enough evidence in this case to indict Bryan Kohberger. Can you explain that?
like, destroying the house, demo the house.
I thought you left.
That's something where I think the
that.
family
thought
should have
you
been
left. I thought you
brought in and said, what is your guys' take on it? Because we all want to be one united front. Nobody wants to hurt the case at any shape. So I think there's a
like
right.
always when they go, oh, I'm going to run. I'm going to go out of here. And then they hang out. I know they'll hang out to the end of the show because I got them hooked now. They're mad. They want to hang out. It's good for me. It's good for ratings and watch time. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Time when you can say, hey, how can we make this a better transaction? The city needs to recover from this. We have business that we have to get to. Everything revolves around these schools.
I love the
I
interaction.
get that. But when they just tell you, hey, we're going to do this, and then you say, well, we have questions and we want to know more information, and they're like, too bad.
Well, I'm talking to
You're
everybody.
not going to get it, and then you kind of forces you.
I'm talking to everybody because you know why? This is my chat. It's my house. It's my house. I can talk to whoever I want because it's my house.
To fight.
Yeah.
So then you're like, all right, well,
and we've definitely come with plenty of questions, and some of them I'm like, we're not going to get an answer to that.
Yeah.
We expect. But then sometimes I'm like, they're not going to answer that. Like, why won't they answer that? And it goes to our attorney. Everything goes through Shannon. And
the funny thing is, everybody can have their own opinions. Everybody, just like this person here, I'm going to say enough that can have her own opinions in everything. Okay. But if your opinion doesn't match up with certain people like this, they get pissed. Okay. Now we all debate. We all have different opinions. Believe me, there's a million people that are, well, not a million. I'm just saying there are probably hundreds of people that have subscribed to my channel. And I've even had people come in here and they say, hey, I don't agree with a lot of things that you say, but I watch. But I can have my opinion. You know why? It's my platform. It's my house. I can say anything I want on this microphone because it's my house. If you don't like what I'm saying, start your own channel. It's perfectly fine. But when you have a different opinion, especially in this case, because it gets very, very sensitive with people. And if you're not like a Bryan Kohberger sympathizer, they fucking hate you. I don't even know why I'm wasting all my time on this because it's goofy. But it's my opinion. It's my platform. And I think that the evidence is very strong against Bryan Kohberger. And again, I will make clarity in this. As of right now, in jail, Bryan Kohberger is innocent until proven guilty. And there is enough evidence that he was indicted for this crime. And just what I've known over the last fucking year of doing all this research and presentations, I probably have over 300 streams on Idaho and looking over the evidence top to bottom, learning more about all the technology and the ongoing investigation, it just gets darker and grimmer for this guy. It doesn't look like if he wanted to go and he's so confident that he's going to be exonerated, then why wouldn't he go on the time when his scheduled court date was available? They kept putting motions in. They kept delaying the trial. They kept moving everything and exhausting the whole court process until Judge got to a point and said, what are we doing here? This is getting goofy. And they're out there in the last hearing talking about motions in law from 1875. You got to be kidding me. If you're so confident that you're going to be exonerated, why not just go to trial and get it over with? I would want to. Why would I want to sit in jail for days and days and months and years? The guy's been in there a year. If I was there, I'd probably say, I want to get out of jail. Let's get this to trial and get it over with so I'm exonerated and I can walk out a free man. Can you explain that? If I knew that there's no possible way that I can be convicted of something, I would say, hell yeah, let's get this to court right away. I want to walk out of here and be with my family or go back to school. Right? All right. I think I've wasted enough time on that, but we'll keep playing through. We got a while to go here too. We're going to be here a while tonight. All right. Coming up in the 26-minute university response and their thoughts on it.
It is, yeah. I feel like sometimes.
Well, of course they wanted the preliminary trial, Mary. They wanted to see all the evidence so they could use that for their defense. Because right now they have no defense. And you know that. He was just driving around. Just driving around. That's all he's doing. Just driving around.
The prosecution team worries more about the university and the university's agenda.
Well, everybody seems to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small town. The university seems to be like the big business.
Yeah.
I think it's 4,000, 5,000.
We get it.
When they're not in school, but when they are, it's like 55.
Yeah.
So it really is like a extreme.
We understand that they just can't lose the college.
We don't want that.
Nobody just can't go away because they're putting all their time and effort and money.
Yeah.
But then
going off, Tammy.
Maybe just not worry about.
When I go for late night drives, I always turn my phone off.
But they had the highest, biggest freshman class ever.
Did they?
Tell me when anybody has ever hit their power button off. And I'm just saying this. Within like the last year, when have you really ever turned your phone completely off? That's why they don't have an on-off button on the iPhone. They don't want you to turn it off. You got to go through 19 steps to actually physically turn it off. And obviously, I'm joking about that. It's probably 3, but that's why they don't have an on-off button. They don't want you to turn it off.
Like I was just talking to someone about this at the courthouse. They could.
Okay, bye.
Not ignore
bye.
What happened.
Okay, bye.
It almost
okay,
more
bye.
It's more on the map now. I mean, there's more people. I've seen a lot of people
forget about it, regardless of what.
And the footage, people are like, it's beautiful there.
I'm going to tell you something there. I'm going to tell you something, Ariel. Do you know that your phone constantly collects data, even if it's off? And then once you turn it back on, it goes back out to the cloud because it will collect all your movements and where that phone has been and the telemetry. And when you turn it and you move the phone, it'll all be there. Don't look too good, does it?
A little town, you see it, and there's a lot of people are like, okay, well, it is a bad thing that happened, but look how they reacted.
Yeah.
This is how you want a community to react. They are offended, they're pissed off, and they're going about doing everything in their power to make sure that these kids are, they're going to get the form of justice that they deserve. Where that's not the case all across America. We have pockets of areas where they have that more killings in one weekend.
Yeah.
And it's not even on TV. So I think some people look at that and they're like, you know what? Even though this tragedy happened, it wasn't a local, it was an outsider. There's not going to be outsiders that are all like that. It was just an extreme event from some misfit, and they'll probably never have an incident.
Right here coming up, they're going to talk about demoing the house and their feelings on demoing the house
For decades to come.
Right.
And that's what we all hope for,
But with
Ever,
that,
anywhere.
with the house, you guys fought really hard. I'm sure it was uncomfortable at times to have to come out and, speak out against
Yes.
the university and the prosecution.
I was like hiding under my bed the whole time.
Yeah,
Him
but
and Shannon were out there, and I was like,
you were fighting it. And I could tell it was uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
And they kept saying, but we don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
And then to see the FBI there again and all the boards taken off this week.
It was really hard.
I knew in my heart what was best for those girls and Ethan. I knew what was best was to keep that around until they did more. And there'll be a point when I'll be like, you know what? Let it go. Let it go.
And our agenda of keeping it around isn't because, it's going to be so sad when it's torn down. I mean, that is going to be sad to me. And people think, how can that tear it down? And it's just like, look, my daughter lived a happy life there. Yes, she was murdered there, ultimately murdered, but that was this much time. We have pictures of them in the house. When that house goes, it's going to be hard. I don't want to go in it. I've never even been to the house. I've never drove by it. I don't want to, but it's still going to be when they're like, that house is gone. It is going to be very emotional for me. But that wasn't why the emotional side of things. It was strictly is this good for the prosecution? Is this good for the case? And I like I said, we don't know any of this stuff, but reading, and they talk about how jury members walk through crime scenes and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is crazy.
And why take the chance? I mean,
why?
Why not just wait, even if it's a year or two?
Yeah. And he absolutely, he said, there is no evidentiary value in that house at all. He said walls and flooring and the acoustics are not the same.
If anybody
points aren't the same.
Yeah, the acoustic bothered me. And I was like, well, this guy was here 12 times that we have documented. I'm taking you for your word for what you've said. If he's there 12 times, where was he parking? And what could he?
Real quick, and they're going to talk about here coming up about the walls being cut out of Maddie's room and photos of the mattresses. They're going to talk about seeing all that evidence is really crazy.
See from those locations? Was he looking through windows and seeing these people? And those are all parts that would explain motivation. Was he there stalking? Was he obsessed with these individuals? So you can't tell me with the house being gone that you can give somebody the view of somebody parking right there, which is 200 feet away. You want to look in that window and say, oh, I can totally see somebody walking through there right now. I can see it's a red shirt that they got on. They got a bandana on. Those little details of where, oh, that's why he sat there for half an hour and then drove off, So those were the things that I wasn't sure that had been captured. So now that they are, it'll be less and less.
The stuff they're doing now is the same stuff they did before, and they're just doing it again, or brand new stuff. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they did before. I don't know what they're doing now. I do know that rendering. I feel like this time around they were a little careless because people did snap some photos, and I wasn't real happy. I mean, they're just. I mean, it was a photo of Maddie's room. Olivia sent it to me today, and I was like, "Whoa!" It was a picture of Maddie's room, and the walls cut out.
Yeah, and they told us about that, and that's they're trying to protect us.
We had not seen any of that, the cutout walls at all.
There's nothing as bad as what we'd seen with the mattresses and other things too. We've seen some pretty bad stuff.
I think they actually did a really good job getting the stuff out and escaping the media for the most part. And
the police officers went in there with
I
the
know
U-Haul.
when they removed the kids in the first place, people always ask about that, and they'll even ask us about it and stuff. And I'm like, ew, why are you don't ask me this, And then I start thinking, I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, they did.
You're going to talk about being a fighter for Kaylee and being a voice.
Good. I'm so glad they don't have pictures of that. And I mean, they tried with the mattresses. I'm sure you saw those pictures, but they tried.
Mhm.
You know, they were definitely like, get out of the way and let's get out of here with these. But the mattress is touring me up. But
It just seems though, like, you know, I think some people were questioning, like, oh, do you just kind of sit back and stay quiet through this process, or do you kind of have to like fight for your child?
You have to.
And
We got about 100 people watching, 58 likes. Let's get to 100 likes. We get to 100 likes, I'll drop some free memberships. Free memberships. Let's do it.
it seems like, you know, you still have to be their voice.
you do.
Yeah,
And
there's
this kind of shows that.
Yeah.
well, her, Olivia, Kaylee, you guys watched all those shows of like type of, you know, tragedies that had happened, and we've always wondered like why some cases that were the most interesting didn't get any cameras, no publicity, no nothing. They just fade off, and you never know. Now we know why, and it's if you just ignore the cameras, you don't give the opportunity for the people to see the story. So we don't want that to happen to these girls, to where nobody knows what's really going on. I guess the more insight that they have, the more committed they are to make sure that they see this through. And the more people want to see it through, the more we can guarantee an outcome that is fair and justified. This is going to cost a massive amount of money to Idaho. So let it be a beaconing for everyone to see when somebody comes here and hurts our kids. We're fully committed. We're
Can ask where they want the trial.
fully committed to those kids to make sure that they get the justice that they deserve.
Do you have any preference if the trial should stay in Latah County, or a lot of people think it should move? They're worried about, you know, too many people being familiar with the case.
I don't, I mean, I wanted to go to Boise just because that really puts a hardship on us, and we plan on being there. If we didn't plan on being there, I'd be like, I don't care, move it anywhere. You know, I think he's done wherever you put this. I think you can go anywhere in the United States and he'd be done. I think he's guilty, and I think
Evidence is evidence, regardless of the community. That
it might be circumstantial, but when you got 30 little circumstantial points, it all.
I've never heard
person.
DNA is circumstantial ever.
Okay, well, anyways, there's been some talk that it comes to Kootenai County, which is us, and I think that would be fantastic because we've already talked about, you know, leaving our jobs, pulling our kids out of school, you know, for the duration of the trial, renting a house down there. I mean, we have small dogs.
Wow. They're going to literally quit their jobs and go rent a house and be there through the entire trial. That's wow.
Taking the dogs and literally, I mean, we're not going to go back and forth every day. There's no way. You
I
know,
guess
so-
people don't. I never really think about that, like what you
Yeah.
said about having to take the vacation
And we're just going to talk about the public support and response here in a second.
time and like
Yeah.
having to really plan your whole life around all these hearings.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm up to where I'm maxed,
Mhm.
so I'm taking this vacation because I'm gonna lose it. But I had to max myself up in case the speedy trial happened. So I haven't taken a vacation in 2 years.
I've already for the year, I've already used all my sick time. I've already called in. I mean, yeah, I don't even have any sick time left. So yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
okay.
there's different
It's
responsibilities
definitely,
for us.
Yeah.
Just being in your house, there's so many pictures and stuff that people send you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like everybody supports you guys. Does that help?
Totally. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I love when I'll just go into a food place here in town and somebody will tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, Steve." And a lot of people know me from football and coaching in the community. She works at a school. I work at a hospital. So everybody definitely makes you feel like you picked the right place to live.
And our page, we get so
Mhm.
much love on our, you know, our family page.
So
It's-
that's
it's-
another thing I wanted to put to rest, because I know that was a big argument in here like a couple of months ago when we were talking about the Facebook page, and like people were like, "Oh, Kristi doesn't respond to that. They probably have someone doing it." Yeah, she does. I mean, I've had conversations with her in chat. And she does. And this is going to put all that to rest too. You know, I love all these people's, no, they're not monitoring that. They're not doing it. Yeah, it is Kristi. Kristi does run the page.
insane.
Worldwide, yeah.
I mean, yeah, the comments. I mean, I could just read them forever and ever and ever and ever. I read them before I go to bed. I read them in the morning when I get up. I always have a little bit of quiet time before, start moving around, and I open it up and read the comments. And there is a lot of amazing people out there.
People really feel connected to you guys.
Yeah. And I feel it, that it's sincere. It's not just, people tell us they cry with us, that they share our grief, and they say, I know we can never bear the burden, but we do. Like, our family has cried over this. We talk about this. We follow this. Yeah. This has affected us, I mean, and not just one family. I mean, a lot. If
you haven't already, please smash the like button. We're trying to get to 100 likes tonight. Super, super easy. All right, we're going to come up here and talk about the 37th minute, 38th minute. They're going to talk about not having Kaylee's phone yet. And he said that they had some issues trying to process data off the phone. Now I'm wondering, and I don't want to be, gruesome here, but I wonder if it's just because of the struggle. Maybe that phone was next to her. It could have had, unfortunately, a lot of, red substance all over it. And Kristi is going to talk about still texting Kaylee's phone to this day, and they still pay the bill to keep it on. And I just find that really amazing. So, let's keep playing through here.
Daily. There's
always somebody. I mean, we get cards still, letters. I mean, handwritten letters from 92-year-old women. I'm a grandma of 30 kids, and and this and that, and just going on, and I'm sorry it's taken me so long to write. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, are you kidding? But I finally just had to do it. I just couldn't take it anymore, and just and
it's super helpful too, because having eyes and ears all across the world, they pick up things that you would not, you never see a story. We've gotten photos, videos from her friends that she grew up with that we would never have seen those photos. We've never would have got those videos. So that in itself was worth anything that we've gone through, as far as somebody leaving a jerk comment or something like that. It doesn't bother me, but knowing that I'm going to get photos that I never would have got, and see people share, experiences and things that they did with our daughter. There's stories that we would have never known about. You want to know everything about your daughter.
You don't know them all down in college town, who she knew, and people say, hey, I just want to let you know.
Oh, by the way, that's one of the most amazing names and amazing avatars. So Tots in the Pocket saying, I don't watch mainstream media, but I legit must have been living under a rock, because I absolutely have no idea there's conspiracy regarding this case. With all the evidence, I thought it was open and shut. Oh, you can find the channels. Believe me, you can find the channels. You can look and you can find them. Odd says she's catching up on warp speed. So thank you for being here. If you just come into the room, please smash the like button. We're trying to get to 100 likes tonight before the stream ends. If we get to 100 likes, I'm going to drop some free memberships in there. I'll give you all a month of free content, of members only content here on the channel. And I would appreciate it. So free membership, it's a $4.99 membership. You'll have it for a month. And then if you want to resubscribe and keep continuing to support the LTL True Crime Podcast, you can sign back up literally for $1.99. That's my cheapest membership. And if you want to support right now, absolutely, you can do that. Hit join, and you can drop a free membership. And I'm sorry, you can join a membership for $1.99. It's less than like 5 Starbucks coffees that you're going to buy during the month. $1.99. All right, we'll keep playing through.
Tonight we were at a party, and I actually met Kaylee, and she played beer pong with me or something, and it's just like, thank you for that. You could totally visualize it. You could totally picture it.
And pictures with it.
Smash.
Well, you mentioned like going through a phone, like there was pictures and.
Well, I was going through my messages with her on my phone.
On your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Just going through old messages.
Hers. Yeah.
We're trying to get her phone.
I can't wait to get hers one day, someday.
That's all still in evidence, obviously.
Some people got backups, but we never got one.
Interesting. They never get a backup of her phone. And they're going to talk about it here, why they think.
There was more complications with Kaylee's phone. So.
But going through
I'm going to say probably.
Yeah, I just did.
I'm going to say probably due to a liquid substance that was on that phone. That's what I'm guessing. Oh, it's haunting.
I haven't gone back and read through them. And over the weekend, I started reading, scrolling through and reading some of our messages.
I could have my phone out and Caleb would just grab it and say, Dad, we're taking photos.
Thank you, Jelly.
Yeah. And any of the girls will do that.
And you literally be like, oh my gosh, will you stop taking photos?
And
Like,
then
is that
this
all
just-
you do?
And then you just send them to their
And I
phone.
mean, and she'd be like, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'd be like, stop, like, don't get away, like I run
Different
and hide
generation.
from the camera. Yes. And I'm like, I'm so
Thank you,
thankful.
Cole.
Like, I yelled at her so many times, be
Yeah.
like, put your phone away now. Don't you snap another picture.
Do you
You
still?
know, I see a lot of new names here, or see names that I haven't seen in a long time. I encourage you, if you haven't already, please go over to the homepage and check out my playlist of Chelsea Grimm missing person. You need to watch that case. We've been covering it in its entirety here for about a month. I really would appreciate y'all going over there and checking that case out, because we need to bring Chelsea home. Chelsea's case is just as important as this Idaho case, if not more, because time is of the essence. She is missing in Ash Fork, Arizona, and we need to find her. And we've been doing extreme deep dive into that case. And please check out that playlist. I need you to review that case. If you live in Arizona or in that area and you have information of this case, please call the Coconino Sheriff Department and give them your tip. No tip is stupid, because it might turn into something big. So I'm going to get back to the stream here. Thank you so much. Coming up here in about another minute, they're going to talk about, Kristi's going to talk about what her thoughts were that BK was doing during the time and getting ready for this horrible crime.
To me, like, did you or do you still text her phone? I mean,
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, she hasn't got it turned off.
So you pay the bill.
Yeah. And
And
we hope to get it back. We eventually should get it back.
Is it comforting
you.
texting her?
Thank you, MJ. It's very important.
yeah, it's
Important
usually
case.
when, I don't, just sucks because you just want her to reply so bad. And I go to our last message all the time, and it's just crazy to me because I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, what we were talking about. Me and Steven were out when she sent me that picture, and I would have never known.
Talking about that last photo that we saw. Oh man,
that Kaylee would be dead in 12 hours from that picture.
Crazy.
And Maddie, never. Both
I don't
of them
think
laughing their butts off.
Yeah, most parents don't get, for better or worse, we see the very last moments all the way. It's like it was like a camera was falling.
So close to 100 likes. Please smash that like button. We're gonna get to 100 likes before the stream ends tonight. Please, thank you. I know they're gonna go, you say that you want them to smash the like button too many times. Well, at least I ain't one of those dickheads that go, pay me money, send me super chats, do this, do that. I never do that. If you want to super chat, that's all on you. If you want to join as a member, that's all on you. I'll pump my memberships once during the stream, but I do not beg for money here. I've never done that.
Them around, like
It was,
that's why I
That
feel
food
like
truck
so
video.
many people relate to two girls laughing, one waving her arm, and they're talking about boys. Then they were over at a club, and there's other boys there, and they're going and getting grub food, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll share it with you." It just seemed like you're watching their lives as
Thank you,
it was
me too.
just part of your life, and then you know what it ends. You know how it ends, and you're just
Yeah.
like, "There's
to know that he knew what he had planned, his plan, he was planning it out right then and there. As they were eating, he was planning on their murder. Right then and there. I mean, he was getting himself all hyped up, all dressed, packing his little bag.
And our children know
Sickening.
killing someone is just, that's God's decision. He decides when people come and go. You've got to be you got to be careful when you decide that. I know it's somebody's job, and that's a different circumstance when they go to war or they're a police officer. But as our kids, and they get mad and they say something, dirty or ugly to their siblings, we're like, no. You don't wish any of that on anyone, because that's just not acceptable. You got to apologize. I remember lining the kids up and making them apologize, and them getting so mad at me for making them do stuff. I try to embarrass them, make them do it in public, in front of people.
Make them kiss.
Yeah, make them kiss.
Kiss him on the cheek.
You got to kiss your brother. And he'd just be like,
He didn't want it either. Usually he's just like, no, like this is miserable for both of us.
Yeah,
I don't want to kiss her. I don't want her lips on me.
You guys are so inspiring as a family, like, and even just the two of you, your relationship, like, just in the world, there's a lot of people, marriages don't seem like yours, and especially with everything.
Steve kind of did that little moment to Kristi's shoulder. Let's go back and look. He kind of poked her. That was really cool. And then coming up here, we're going to talk about the thoughts and relationships with the police investigation, their thoughts on that. Let's watch that nudge again. It was really cute.
You don't wish any of that on anyone, because that's just not acceptable. You got to apologize. I remember lining the kids up and making them apologize, and them getting so mad at me for making them do stuff. I try to embarrass them, make them do it in public, in front of people.
Make them kiss.
Yeah, make them kiss.
Kiss him on the cheek.
You got to kiss your brother, and he'd just be like,
He didn't want it either. Usually he's just like, no, like this is miserable for both of us. I don't want to kiss her. I don't want her lips on me.
You guys are so inspiring as a family, like, and even just the two of you, your relationship, like,
right here,
just in the world we live in, there's a lot of
people,
Kristi, marriages
don't
seem like yours, and especially with everything you've been through. I mean, that's nice to see,
Well, I guarantee you could come back in 20 years, and if we're not dead, we'll still be together.
Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere.
I met her in college, and same type of thing that was going on with our kids, just going through that part of their lives, and we wanted them to go through the same thing. And
he was in college, I was in high school.
Yes, it's true.
Different.
A little bit different, but we made it through that, and we know that statistically this is super hard on all the parents' relationships. So we don't avoid it. We don't talk about it. We all come together and spend time as a family, make sure that we're listening to everyone.
We actually really have not argued at all, really. About. I mean, I get a little scared sometimes when him and Shannon start going on tyrants here and there, and I'm like, you guys are scaring me. Because it's just like you said, it's awkward, and it feels very like not normal. Like you're not supposed to go call out the prosecutor or call out so I mean, I'm like,
it's my daughter. Nobody tells me,
but I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I mean, I'll do it. Don't make me do it. I will get ugly, but I just can't.
99% of the time, it's.
Yeah, I'd say creepy Crystal. I don't know how far you got into it, but I would say go back. There's a lot of Easter eggs, and there's more stuff coming up. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this, and you're going to hear stuff about the cast information pretty soon too. That's coming up in about the 48th minute, and about another probably 3 minutes or so. Feelings on more information coming out at trial. They're going to talk the cast information and talk about the motive. Okay, let's keep playing through. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I know I haven't done an Idaho stream in a while because I just felt really weird about the whole, let's do a 1-year remembrance. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go back. We've already lived through that. But if some new information comes out, like this interview, I think is great. It's very telling. It gives a position as to where they are in their life and how they're feeling. And it gives us a little bit more insight to understand what they're getting to learn more about this case. So I felt strange. And that's why I did kind of that protest the other night. And it wasn't to dishonor the victims. I just felt I wanted to be different that night. And because I know on that anniversary night, everybody was doing an Idaho stream. And it's just a little ridiculous to go back. And I mean, what are you going to do? This is where it happens. Let's look again. We don't need to go through that. Let's just go forward. When new information comes up, a new new trial date or maybe a new document or piece of evidence, an interview like this. We'll look at stuff like that. But we don't need to go back and look at grub truck videos. We don't need to go back and look at the first night it happened. We're so past that now. And there's nothing else that you're going to be able to figure out in this case that you're going to all of a sudden go bing and you're going to solve it. I think we're there. We're in position. The case is lined up. Hopefully this gets to trial soon and we can start getting through this horrible nightmare. Okay, let's keep playing through.
All positive. It's just the times where you think maybe decisions being influenced by
Jim, we have
pressures outside of what's best for the case that you got to put your foot down and
Jim's
say, okay,
fan. Look at this.
You don't want to share what's going on here.
So let me just challenge you that on Jim. Let me challenge you on that one. Okay. Let's put one of your children, if you have children, in that position. Okay. And your child gets brutally murdered, okay, by someone that you have no idea who that person is. Okay. And this person is so young and so full of life that could go on to be someone brilliant and maybe solve a problem or become a big political influence or maybe start a new company or head a CEO. They've been robbed of that in their life. They're now dead. Okay. Would you be just as upset? And you know what? I commend them. They're not out motherfucking anybody. They're not calling anybody a son of a bitch. They've been calm, cool, and collective about this, but they're talking about their daughter's legacy and what that legacy could have been. And I'm sure that if you had children in your life, you would be doing the same fucking thing. Because I can tell you something, if my daughter was murdered in the fashion that she was murdered in, I'd be talking in front of every fucking camera every single fucking day to keep her memory alive. And to make people aware of situations like this, to maybe have families pay a little bit more attention as to maybe some signs. And again, we don't know the true motive yet, but we're going to find out during trial. And if something comes out in trial that could have been prevented, like a red flag or a sign, and you can pick up on that, that will help something like this in the future that will never happen again. That'll be a piece of information that can get out there and bring public awareness. So fuck you. Okay. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch them. But I think they're a very strong family. I commend what they're doing. They could be people that sit inside their house and rot away for the rest of their life. But you know what? They're out here being brave. They're talking about their daughter that had a fucking knife plunged through her body, probably multiple times, and brutally cut up. Okay. So I commend people like that. So fuck you. All right. I'm going to move on with my presentation.
Then we'll be forced to make a statement. We'll have to do what's best for our daughter. That we really have to take that stance.
Oh, and by the way,
there's nobody else.
I know you stuck around for that. So Jim, thanks for hanging out, because the view on my channel, it helps the algorithm. So keep watching, keep commenting. It's good stuff.
That can do it at the same attention level that I think we can. Nothing against a prosecutor or anything. I just don't know if they're just can't be committed like a parent. You know, a parent is we're willing to do whatever we have to do. So
maybe they are.
Yeah.
All right. We're coming up here on the 48th moment, and we're going to talk about the feelings on more information coming out, the cast information, and they're going to talk about a possible motive. Okay. We need to do this. We're at 88 upvotes. I need to get to 100. So that we're actually at 89, 11 more. And I'm going to drop some free memberships here in the chat.
Maybe they are.
Friday night. Let's get a little loose.
I would love to.
We
Underestimate.
Swear jar.
We're like, well, we hope.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
Every time I swear, we need the swear jar.
Well, I think a lot of us
Put the money in the swear jar.
Underestimated the police.
I think Carrie made the
We
first
did.
donation.
So
of the
We
swear
maybe
jar.
it'll be the same kind of situation.
1999. Carrie.
We talked with the
Carrie made the first donation of the swear jar. I think I said the F word a million times. I don't care. I'm an adult. I drop F bombs. I don't care. We're all adults. We'll all get over it. It's nothing that we haven't seen on TV or heard in our entire lives. I'm an adult. It's my platform. If I feel worked up enough, I'll drop some F bombs. Carrie H with the 1999 says, thank you for always standing up for the victims and the bitching out of the trolls. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't fuck around. What's the saying? Fuck around and what is it? Fuck around. And I don't know what the saying is. Maybe someone can correct me on it. Fuck around and find out. That's it. All right, let's play.
One-on-one, and they,
Thank you, Karen.
you looked at him and said, please
Yeah,
just
it's
tell
my
me
show. I
that
don't
there's
care.
going to be somebody.
My
And
platform.
they stepped out of their comfort zones to
Phil
comfort
Bible.
Christy and the families, to like, hey, we're on top of this. We got it. We're gonna.
And they
We
did.
know.
That was the only thing that I left that day when we met with them. It was like, I believe it was December 13th. And
It made a
asked them,
big impact
I'm
on
going
you.
to ask you both. I said, who's in charge here? And they told us, and I said, I'm going to ask you both the same question. How do you feel 0 to 100% that this case will be solved? And I asked him, and he said, he looked at me and he said 100%. And then I said, your turn. And he looked at me, and the second one looked at me very intensely. I mean, the first guy did too, but that look that I got from
Don't say because I won't get nobody.
I know, and I was like, and that was right around the time that they were swirling his name around. And he said, 100%, this will be solved. And I was like, that's all I need to know. And I had some peace in my heart for about a minute. and then I went back to, they got nothing. Yeah. But I mean, I was like, I think they got something. I'm like, no, both of them, the way he looked at me, I'm telling you. Yeah. And then, but yeah, you lose. You lose hope.
Well, you never. I don't know if you felt like you lost it. It's just easy to fall into the negativity when, that's
putting your trust into someone else.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
And I do regret, and I do wish I could see him again and hug him. I haven't been able to see him and hug him and tell him, you know what?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I do remember that.
That helps.
I don't know if you remember.
When this is all over.
Yeah.
When.
Yeah.
At the end of the trial, hopefully you'll have that moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does that kind of stuff happen?
I think so. Yeah.
Is that
definitely?
Kind of?
Yeah.
We talked about it. I told him. I said, you guys nail this. Get this done. Dinner, beers on me.
Yeah.
We'll go and
yeah. They did. He said
we'll laugh. We'll laugh about some of the struggles and some of the the conflicts that.
And he goes, he said, I can't wait till I could tell you everything. Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah.
He did.
And I grew up in a very competitive, does about this tall, playing sports and everything. I always had a coach that told me, even if you thought you had the greatest game, you could get better. So I take that type of approach to this case, even if we have the greatest day, we get it. But is there more? Is there more? Like seeing the FBI there today is the type of thing that makes me feel like I don't like to see it boarded up, locked up, and not know that I didn't see cameras filming through all the windows. Didn't see all. Now I see those things, and now I can let those things go.
Yeah.
And hopefully they are in there finding more evidence or something new. I mean, that would be amazing.
I feel like you've seen that community. We're going to the ideal guy to get on that jury is a farmer who doesn't even have cable TV.
Yeah.
So to tell him he's got to watch a 3D render, it never made me feel right. A farmer is going to be like, no, I want to see it. I want to touch it. No, you guys can show me all this computer stuff all you want, but it's not real to me. I want to look through that window. I want to hear a dog barking from inside that house. I want to. So that's why I was like, I don't know if boarding it up this quick during the middle of the winter is the ideal thing. And I think now with those guys going in there, that's exactly what makes me feel comfortable that when it does go down, then I don't look back and always think about what could have happened. Now it's done. So it's just things like that.
Do you have any questions, Lauren?
I mean, I know that we.
This here, they're going to talk about feelings on the new info coming through, the cast information. They're going to talk about motive, and then Kristi's going to ponder how Bryan Kohberger and the kids cross paths.
And you can answer this, Brian, but I know we talked about like we still feel like there's so much more that we don't know that's going to come out whenever this trial starts.
Right. Mm-hmm. I've said that all along.
Kind of how you guys feel, mm-hmm. and what does and what is
it's
that like?
Are you gonna?
Yeah. No, you can just answer it. That's fine. Yeah.
I think it's scary. I'm scared.
You don't want to
Because-
hear something that
Well, yeah, I mean, because you can't. I mean, and like I said, my mind will go. Give me a little, and unfortunately, my mind will go there, and I'm scared what I will hear. I think it's going to be terrifying. I think it's going to be absolutely terrifying. And is it mentally good?
Did my homework. I did my homework.
Obviously it's not mentally good for me at all. Or healthy, no. And I've thought about like maybe I shouldn't go and be there. I mean, there are days that I won't be.
Yeah.
Photos, I'm out. But I feel I have to be there for Kaylee. I feel like I have to. Like she'd be like, Mom, get up and get your butt in court now. Like, like she went through that.
at least we can be there to make sure that it.
But I think hearing the details, if they come out, or the prosecution's got to paint a picture. Even the picture that they paint, I mean, it's probably going to be fairly accurate, I would think,
But
for the most part.
How many people are just anticipating that opening statement from the prosecution? If you are anticipating it, drop a 1 in the chat. If you're not, drop a 2. But how many people are salivating to hear that open statement where they paint that picture and say, how did this all happen? How did they all cross paths? What happened? It's going to blow my mind hearing that. I think I have a good picture in my brain of what it should be, but I'm telling you, that opening statement is going to be jaw-dropping.
We could talk to Thompson, the prosecution, and say, hey, all you have to do is look at us and we can leave.
There's just no way that a ton of stuff is going to come out. I think a ton. And sometimes I just lay in bed and think about that.
Yeah, they're going to
There's going to be so much more stuff that comes out in this trial.
retrace his steps. People are going to be shocked about how sophisticated this investigation.
Here, listen to this. Cast information. Ready? Listen to this. Listen to what Steve says about the phone.
Was. I think the caste system, what I've seen of that, is going to blow people away. The tilting of the phone.
What did Steve just say there? What I've seen of that. Now, I don't know. I don't think that he's seen evidence, but maybe he's talking about someone explained that to him, what he's dug into and found out. But it could possibly be some information, because didn't we heard something about him getting into her phone or mirroring her phone at some point? Let's go back and listen. But maybe probably some research that he's done. That's what I'm guessing. And someone explaining CAS information. Now, remember, if you don't know what CAS information is, you can literally look up the Murdaugh trial and just type in Murdaugh trial CAS information, CAST, and watch that stream of that FBI agent explaining CAS information. It'll blow your mind. All right, let's go back here and listen. Yeah, his own sleuthing, right?
Talk to Thompson, the prosecution, and say, hey, all you have to do is look at us and we can leave.
There's just no way that a ton of stuff is going to come out. I think a ton. And sometimes I just lay in bed and think about that.
Yeah, they're going to retrace his steps. People are going to be shocked about how sophisticated this investigation was. I think the caste system, what I've seen of that, is going to blow people away. The tilting of the phone, all that stuff now can be used to give a picture that people don't realize. So I think there's some brilliant people working on this case, and they're going to lay out a full picture of things that lay out to a point where you're going to walk through this and you're going to relive it. And that will, I think it'll be pretty clear by the end of the case, the verdict.
I think the details are going to be what led up to it, or, when he got eyes on him, or one of them, both of them, someone, how he picked that. I mean, I think it's just going to be very haunting, very just a nightmare.
Yeah,
just an average
the
person's
motive, I think, because we don't really have that yet,
Yeah.
so that will all be.
And I think his motive, which is weird, I think his motive was he wanted to do it. He
He wanted
wanted to murder.
Yeah. Well, he did want
I
to
know
be
that's, But why did he want to murder? Well, he wanted to murder because he wanted to see what it felt like because he's a weirdo. I don't know.
Well, he wanted to be a police officer, and he probably.
Well, I don't think most police officers want to murder people.
No. But he
and
wanted
especially that way.
It was
I mean,
part of
goodness.
his fantasy was to be
Yeah.
in that situation of control. So,
But yeah, I mean, some of the details I look forward to because it
fill some
would
gaps
be nice to put it to rest. But I don't know if I would put it to rest. But your brain ponders it. How did they cross paths? How? I want answers. I want to know.
They're going to talk about the alibi here coming up in about 2 minutes. About another minute, they'll talk about the alibi, BK's alibi.
You know, why can't you just tell us that? I mean, I get it, but I mean, it's just such a simple question, you know, and
just how he was able to do that so quickly in the house.
Yeah.
You know, it's so brutal.
Yeah. I mean, what, 15 minutes? 4:04 to 4:17 or something? And people say, "Oh, it's not possible. It's not possible." Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
He was on
I did an experiment. I remember doing the experiment. Wow, maybe almost close to a year ago. I just went through a regular car wash, and I wanted to, because I think we nailed the time down to like 9 minutes, but I think it was a little bit more. But we wanted to feel what 9 minutes was. I went through a self-automated car wash, and it took 9 minutes to get through that, and it felt like the longest time. I don't even know where that video is, but it was pretty cool. Damn, where is that? Let me see if I can find it. I remember that video. I went through a car wash. How long? Oh, I can't even find it. I'd love to see that again. I haven't seen that in a long time. Be really good to see it. You watched it the other day. Where is it, Carrie? Can you get the link to it? I'm going to bring that up after. I'd love to go through that again. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't seen that in a while. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's get through the rest of this. We got about another 20, and then we'll pull that up. And I put a timer on it. Wow, it's been probably a year since I've seen that. We'll play that at the end of this. Let's get through the rest of this. So they're going to talk. I'm going to let it just play now, so don't stop it anymore. They're going to talk the alibi. Kristi's going to talk about having serious panic attacks and just crazy dreams, and then when it gets to about they're going to talk about moving on with life. And then when it gets to about an hour and 3 minutes, I'll stop it there and I'll prefix all that as well. So.
Mission.
We have 101.
I think they'll redo those
on
steps.
a mission. He went boom, 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 straight upstairs.
Yeah, and adrenaline, and you know.
And it's both victims are right next to each other.
Sit for 14 minutes. Just sit. Put your clock on.
Wow.
Me and Olivia have done it before. I'm like, just sit inside. And we're just going to sit here. And I mean, you know, we're like, how long has it been? And she was like, 7 minutes.
Now remember, you've been gifted. Whoever gets the memberships, welcome to the membership group. But remember, go to the bottom of my homepage. So Jess Debbie's got gifted, Laura, Diana, Christine. I should have one more come up. Where's the other one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be 5. I don't see the other one. But anyway, if you are gifted a membership, go to my homepage. There is tons of member-only content. You can watch all that content on there and comment. And then what you can do is, if you want to keep continuing to support LTL, support my channel, at the end of that membership, you can sign right back up. It's only $1.99. That's less than a cup of coffee. And we really do appreciate those memberships.
Right? 11 minutes. Like,
I don't know why only 4 came out.
You know, so you think
5.
it is, you know, people are like, no way. You know,
1,
yeah,
2, 3, 4.
wait.
I don't see a
you
5th
know,
one.
I'm not thinking anybody new will be introduced to the case in that way, like an accomplice or anything like that. You can't get somebody to get on that MO with you. No way. No way. I mean, Bonnie and Clyde, okay, that was a little different, you know, but yeah.
That's weird.
Somebody's not getting on that crazy
4
train with
memberships
you.
that
You're
came
gonna say,
through.
you're crazy. You are crazy.
Yeah, that would have come out by now, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mistrust
People
between the
always
two.
do you
I
think-
mean,
do you
and
think-
you're gonna throw this person under
Yeah.
the bus the first statement you say.
And I worry about, I don't worry about him, but my mind also thinks too that one day he's just going to say, we're backed in the corner. All of our emotions have been heard. We're done. I'm looking like a straight up fool right now because, we got nothing. He can't even come up with an alibi. Let's talk about that for a minute. What happened with that?
Yeah. Where's
It
the
was due.
alibi?
It was
Idaho
due, it was
law
due,
says
it
you
was
have to
due.
give your alibi.
Yeah.
It was extended. It was
Or
extended. It was extended.
they explained to us, or you can't use one. So that would mean he couldn't say,
So right there. And then I was driving around. Yep, that was my
Driving
white car that
around.
drove. Yep, that was me. But I didn't go in and kill
Yeah.
those kids. Yep, that's
Yeah,
my.
you can't
yep,
come up
that's
with
on
an
the
alibi
paper
on
thing,
the-
Kim.
in the courtroom. He just has to say,
Don't know how my sheath got there. I mean,
If he pled guilty and said, I'll plead guilty in exchange for a life sentence, have you thought about that?
yeah.
yeah, I don't want that because I do know I studied the criminal system and the difference between life in prison. Even if it's 20, 30 years, he's 23 hours locked up. He doesn't get to do what is it, BTK?
BTK killer.
PTK.
Oh, okay. Thank
Or
you, Joey.
whatever.
Thanks for clearing
We've
that.
found out that he writes papers for other prisoners and gets treated really well because he's intelligent and he's able to help other
I
prisoners.
think this is the best interview that they've given to date. 100%. Now knowing what they know, 100%. I think this is the best interview they've given. We got about another 15 minutes, 20 minutes in this. About 100 minute and 3. We'll get to that. All right, let's keep playing.
Get preferential treatment through the legal system. We don't want that type of behavior to happen in our case where he has influence outside of this event. So
That's been a hard one, though. I mean,
he could write a book. He can do things. Idaho doesn't have a law particular that protects against that.
The hard thing with that question, honestly, is that's where you forget, and I don't
Probably
know
buried,
how it's
Callie.
possible, but you forget that there's 3 other families involved here. We're not the only ones. It's not just, I'm like, this is not a one,
One crime fits all.
This isn't just our daughter.
Right. Some
And I
might
know
not
that-
want to go through the trial.
I know some of the other families definitely would be, yes, like, let's go. Where do I sign? And I understand that. 100%. 100% I understand
I got it.
that.
I found
But
it, Gary.
you know what? Ultimately, it's not our
We'll
call.
play it after.
I mean, they might ask us our
I
opinion
got it.
like they did on the death penalty, and we'll give it. But just because, our opinion is yay or nay doesn't mean that, that's what we get.
And we have talked with the families to the point where we're like, let's never let this get so angry or ugly that we turn on each other and we're
Never.
mad at each other. We got to respect that we're all gonna.
We're all different.
I'm gonna
families.
fight crazy, and you're not gonna agree with the way that I do things, but my heart's in the same place that your heart's at. You just have a different way of constructing your energy, and that's fine. I'm not asking you to be me, and I hope that you can understand that I'm going to be a different individual, different parent than you are, and we can all just agree that we're going to have different takes on it. Maddie's, her mom Karen.
Yeah.
There's certain things that she's like, I hope this isn't, changing it. And we're like, no, not at all. If you want to do a certain direction or you don't want to do a certain activity,
My love for Karen and Scott will never die.
Yeah.
And that's a promise I make to both of our girls. Never, ever, ever. None of this legal stuff, no matter how left or right we go, or left or right she goes, or they go.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
people just grieve in different ways too.
yeah, we're going to
And I
love.
told Karen that. I said, we can't even agree on everything. How could we, expect us agree on everything?
Because I'm
'Cause I
right.
think at
She's
first-
wrong.
Because I think at first, with everything, the second that the girls died, it was like, what are you guys doing? We don't care. We'll do whatever you want. Whatever you guys, everything. We were like, we just kind of handed the torch back and forth.
Mhm.
Whatever. We'll do whatever you guys are doing, whatever you guys are doing, and then
It's a year later now.
Things are
So
definitely not complicated by any means.
Yeah,
With
we still have
but-
dinners
but-
and things.
yeah. But obviously bigger questions come up and beliefs and things like that. So things,
Memberships. here's
things
the
do
thing.
come up, and
Memberships are gifted. I give back a lot. Okay. the purpose of gifting a membership, and I just want to be really honest with this, is that you continue it after it stops. You're getting a $4.99 membership. You're able to try it out for a month. It gives all the access to all my exclusive content on the members only. You can join all the members only lives where I drop, maybe some stuff there just for members only and not out to the subscribers yet. All I ask is when that $4.99 ends, just sign back up just for $1.99. That's it. Or you can just sign up right now for $1.99. That's what memberships do. And then memberships get taken out monthly. So it's $2, which is less than a cup of coffee now. I mean, Starbucks coffee is like $8, less than a cup of coffee. And that will still get you access to premium content. All my members only live streams, my spontaneous moment members only live streams. I'll break news on members only content. I have videos that I drop just for members only. So that's what that is for. If we drop it in the chat and you get one, then that's cool. But we just ask you here on LTL, continue that membership because it helps support and grow this channel. All right, I'm done talking about memberships tonight. Let's get through this.
And that's fine. It's fine, but I don't know.
We promised to have a vacation all together when this is done with, because I tell her when this is done, I'll never talk to another TV station. I'll never do another. I will disappear, and I will be glad then when nobody recognizes and I don't have to do it. I can deal with it here in this, but I already told you one of the places that I'm going, and I hope to just find a place to just be a part of the community and just kind of disappear and just go fishing and hang out and be around.
And he can go on that trip, and he's going with our son, and I think that's great for them, and I'm super glad that he just is off my butt trying to make me go, because I think that I'd have a panic attack if I would go that far away. I'd be like, like I would lose.
We went to Priest Lake and she was having a hard time. And that's just
I get a little
couple
panicky,
hours.
and it's terrible. I've never been that way. I've never, people that say, oh, I have panic attacks or anxiety things. Oh my God, stop. Like, get a hold of yourself. Like,
my kids make you panic.
Anxiety attacks. It's real. It is real. I mean, I have had a few. Yep.
She'll just wake up and she's like, I'm having one. And I'm
I've had 3. And I literally wake up like just panic. I can't breathe. I'm like, I'm literally shaking uncontrollably. I'm trying to but I learned the first 2 were bad. He almost took me to the hospital. We were up in Priest Lake, and he was like, Kristi, you need to get a hold of yourself. Breathing is the trick. Just trying to control that breathing. And the
crazy thing is she doesn't have anything on her mind. Right. So if I came up and I had some vivid dream, then I'd be like, okay, I could, but she's just like, I'm like, what's going on? What are you thinking? She's like, nothing. And I'm like, well, clearly something's going on, but
maybe you've just bottled it up and
it just expresses.
I don't know.
How many people have ever had that feeling before? Drop a 1 if you had that kind of anxiety attack like that. I mean, I know I have. I'll put my 1 out there. Drop those 1s.
Good.
I do have some really terrible dreams, and that I had to, that sucks.
We all go through it.
And they're always about Kaylee. Always.
Not always. You had one about Autumn this morning.
Well, that she was saying, it's cold. Let me in the house. That was a little creepy. That was about Autumn this morning at my back door.
It's winter.
It seems like it would be hard to really try to figure out how to move on with your life when the trial is.
You can't.
And how are you supposed
That's
to?
what I said. That's what I said to him. I'm like, I cannot move on right now. I cannot go on vacation. Don't take me too far away from my house. I mean, I'm glad that I don't work far.
Your whole life's pending, and you're hoping for a schedule. You're hoping for dates.
That's
why our legal counsel is so adamant on let's get some dates. He knows the families want their lives back. They need.
All right, real quick, and this is going to finish out in a couple minutes, but coming up in about another minute, they're going to talk about the items that they would like back of Kaylee's. They're going to talk about Kaylee's phone as evidence. They're going to talk about the Bluetooth speaker in Kaylee's room and give some insight as when they went to actually pick up Kaylee's items last summer. And they're going to go in, and then talk about going into Kaylee's room. So this will finish out, and then we're going to play that video of the car wash. I hadn't watched that in forever. It's a shame it only had like 800 views on it. I wish it would have done better, but anyway, we'll keep playing.
Need to have dates set in court, even if it gets postponed. We understand that, but knowing that these dates are laid out and they're not just like, today was a good example. It came out of nowhere. And then it basically ended with, we'll look at it. We're not exactly sure what we're looking at. Do we look at it all at once or do we look at it separately? It's a lot of discovery right now. And we were hoping discovery would be over a year later. But we're not complaining that.
The Zoom today, I knew we were going to get a date, a scheduling date for this FBI stuff. But I was definitely like December 1st. What is it? Is it December 1st or 2nd? I mean, I was literally like, oh my gosh, I just like lost it. I just was like, I just cannot believe and everybody was just like, Kristi, it's better than yesterday. Yesterday you guys had nothing because yesterday we got the court date. So on Friday, we were like, so what's next?
Right.
Like nothing. We hear nothing. And then all of a sudden they dropped the bomb yesterday that, court tomorrow or something like that. And we're like, oh, yay.
It's very,
and then
like a roller coaster.
So I'm like, and I'm like, you're right. It is a little, we're getting there.
Outside
but these
perspective.
months are torture. At least for me. Cause I feel like part of it is I just torture myself with them. And I'm just like, I get that date in my head and I'm like, just reverse. I just try to get through the weeks. I'm like, just get through the weeks,
And I get active. I get involved. I know that I can find
and I just
more
want to pull the covers up over my head and just be like, just leave me alone. Where are my dogs?
I know you mentioned that that you guys wanted to get like her phone back. Is there anything else that like you guys were like, oh my gosh, I would love to have this?
We asked for a list of the things that they had to take. Because we know of some things like a laptop, an Apple laptop, and a couple of things. We couldn't even get them to give a list. So
of things that they had. And maybe it sounds stupid, but I don't really know why Kaylee's phone is evidence. Like what is on? So it makes me think, what is on it?
Yeah, that makes you go cuckoo.
Oh, thank you, Turtle Rider.
I'm like,
thank you.
Okay.
So I'm just going to stop this real quick. Says Lady Turtle Rider says, I'm thinking I can change my profile name to LTL Rider now. I love your content and coverage of Chelsea. I hope she gets home. Yeah, we do too. It's just a really sad case. It bugs me every day. It's like I had to kind of pull away from that today. It was just getting to me too much. But thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What is on it?
Her speaker. It's kind of unusual item.
Let's talk about that. Let's go back. What is on the list of her things? Her speaker, which is kind of unusual because she probably had Bluetooth and someone connected to her Bluetooth or pinged it. And I've talked about this before. If you have a device that has Bluetooth or Wi-Fi with your phone, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi turned on, and I can do it right now. My Bluetooth and Wi-Fi is on. Watch this. I know you're not going to be able to completely see it. That is all the things that my phone is trying to connect with right now in the area around my house. So if this moron took his phone into the house and it pinged and tried to connect to her Bluetooth speaker, which probably that's why they have it, it's going to show in that list of things that it tried to connect with. Look at this. That's Bluetooth. If I go to Wi-Fi, look at all the Wi-Fi connections in my neighborhood it's trying to make connection with right now. There you go.
Evidence. Like what is on? So it makes me think, what is on it?
Yeah, that makes you go cuckoo.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
What is on it?
Her speaker.
And then it's saying her phone. They haven't got her phone yet. So what is on that phone that possibly could be a connection to Bryan Kohberger? Was he reaching out to her? We've heard about the Instagram stories. Was he maybe sending emails or through a dating app?
kind of unusual item not to give back. The
think-
laptops, multiple laptops, not just one. All electronics, it seems like they've kept of hers.
Well, I'm going to probably say this, and let's think logically about this, Mary. They're college kids. They probably have all their devices inside the house turned on at once, because if I had a Bluetooth speaker, I know it probably would be running at all times. So when I came right into the house as a college student or a high school student and I turned my phone on to music, I would want it to instantaneously play. I don't see a lot of kids turning their items on and off. If anything, the way that I know that kids are now, they eat and don't even fucking pick up after themselves, and they leave their dishes and shit everywhere. I'm sure that they're not going to be turning a Bluetooth speaker on and off, especially if it's plugged in. It's probably on all the time. Knowing college kids and party kids, how they would just come in the house, connect to that speaker and start playing music right away. I guarantee that sucker's on 24 hours a day. I guarantee it. I can almost say the law of average would put it right there.
So and her,
I have Bluetooth speakers right behind me from my record player. They're constantly on, so I don't have to turn them on. I literally just go over, turn my record player on, put the needle down, plays a record. Don't have to turn my speakers on. Guarantee you, everything in that house is always turned on. Guarantee you, the way that kids are. I know it is.
8 records. The amount of records on Kaylee was probably, I think, fairly to say, was more than the other victims. So curious where that's going to come.
If we got
Oh,
like
thank
her
you,
like
MJ. Have a good night.
her like wallet. Like,
We got things from her room. Her room really wasn't
yes,
part
but
of
I'm
it.
talking about like her wallet with her ID in it and her debit card. And
Yeah, we have those items.
we have her ID.
And her, she had so many IDs. It's hard to. She had a lot of college IDs, a lot of high school IDs. So I don't know if I actually
We all have
see.
a lot of IDs.
I actually haven't gone through. My thing is because I'm very good about like just pretending like things didn't happen and like put it out of my head and pretend.
Jeff,
And,
thank you so much for
That's what I do with Kaylee's stuff. Because we brought
your
everything
memo. I
home.
appreciate that. Thank
We
you.
got a bunch of stuff home, and
Thank you.
I went through like 2 things, and I literally 2 boxes, and I literally couldn't go to work for like 3 days. I mean, I literally was like smelling everything and just like sitting on the floor, and my mom and his mom were like, "We're gonna go, just get it up in Kaylee's room, okay?" So I mean, I went to
I have an Audio Technica. It's not like top of the line. It's a good one. I know that. It's just the regular stylus that comes with it. I've looked at try to upgrading it, but I don't want to mess with it that much. But I have a lot of records. I have a lot of rare records. That's usually what I invest in, especially my favorite band. So all right, let's get through this because I know it's getting kind of late for everybody. We're chilling on this Friday night. Just want to thank everybody being here tonight on LTL True Crime Podcast. It's nice to kind of do one of these streams. I haven't done an Idaho stream in quite a while, and it's nice to see that we had 100 holding in the chat all night. So I appreciate that. All right, let's keep playing through. We're almost done through this, and then I'm going to play that video. How long does 9 minutes feel? And then we'll end the stream.
room, and I'm like, everybody just leave me alone and get away from me. And they packed it up there and put it all away. And then I have not gone through any of it at all besides those 2 boxes. And I don't want to go through any of it. I don't know why. It just is so hard to go through that stuff. And when we went down to the house, or that little
When we picked up her
storage
stuff,
house that they had for us to go through, that was so hard to see their rooms like set up in this house and get the rest of their things. It was Kaylee's room. Kaylee was bedroom number 2. And I was like, my daughter doesn't even have a name. She's bedroom number 2. So everything marked bedroom number 2 was Kaylee.
It's terrible.
And that was hard. That was really hard. That was last summer. But I've only been up to Kaylee's room. I mean, it's right up there, right at the top of the stairs. I've only been up there twice.
Thanks,
and
Jamie.
neither
Have a good
time was
night.
for any
Thanks for
amount
being
of
here.
time.
Appreciate you.
It was like in and out. Oops, in and out. Once was when Olivia was here, and
Yeah, I get everybody's Bluetooth.
she's the
Everywhere.
fortress. She doesn't want the other girls
a
to
list.
steal her clothes.
I don't want anybody going through her stuff at all. I'm just like, get out of there. Why are you wearing that? That's Kaylee's. That's all we have. That is it.
Yeah, that I knew that going into it. I definitely wanted an Audio Technica. I wanted like really good stuff. So yeah, mine's like mid-tier. It does the job. I have shitty like Amazon shelf speakers, but they sound great for what I need to do. I just come in, crank it up, turn the bass up, and throw my Danzig 1 record on and just go to town. It's just good stuff.
It, and it just
Yeah,
it's just
what's crazy is and I know we're pausing a moment here, but when my brother died, I used to call his phone until the number got turned off. I would call his phone just so I could hear his voicemail and just keep calling it, and I would text him all the time. Always text him, and then finally the bill got shut off, so the phone got shut off. All right, we'll go back a little bit. All right, let's play this.
in and out. Oops,
Sorry for your loss.
In and out. Once was when Olivia was here, and
She's a fortress. She doesn't want the other girls to steal her clothes.
I don't want anybody going through her stuff at all. I'm just like, get out of there. Why are you wearing that? That's Kaylee's. That's all we have. That is it. And it's just real. It's just so real sometimes, and it's just the worst that somebody could do this to somebody's family. So many families,
But on the brighter side, when we do get those phones and we do get those laptops, we will have photos and memories that have been hidden from us.
Yeah, because I'm sure she has a ton of selfies.
There's probably some things on there they don't want to see either. I was just thinking like, oh no, ah boy, it's going to be really really telling once they get that phone, and probably a little embarrassing. Our phones have a lot of, this was taken on around October 31st. I would say it's either 31st or November 1st. So it's very, very recent, Andy. It's probably the most updated one because they do talk about them going back into the house on Halloween. So, all right, let's play this. It's almost done. And then we're going to do one more thing and then wrap it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And you'll just have to I feel like you'll know when the time is right for you, when you want to go in there.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, you got to know yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, my mother-in-law's been really working on it. She's here with us, and she's been really working on getting it kind of, I'm like, I just want it to be like she left it. I wish I would have saw exactly how she left it, because things have been put in there and stored in there since, or pretty much her stuff.
All boxes.
So she's she's like, I remember, because she stays up there, and she was here when Kaylee passed away. And she was like, I remember, do you want me to get it? Like, I can remember. And I'm like, yes, I want to see it. So she's there, and she's like, I want you to come up and see it. And I'm just like, I've been like,
she put the TV where her TV was, and her pictures.
And I'm just like,
and it was kind of Maddie's room too, because there was always Maddie stuff over in a certain corner.
Yeah.
All the pink was in one corner, and so.
Yeah, Cheryl just. And she understands, though, she's not trying to push, but she said, it helps me, actually. She goes, I wasn't super reluctant about going in there, but it actually helps me, to go in there, but it is hard to, it's just like the car, seeing the car. It's a constant reminder, I had a blanket. I took a blanket to work with me, and it was a beautiful blanket that somebody sent to us as gifts, and it was covered in squares of Kaylee and Maddie, all the best pictures ever. All the front was when they were younger, and all the back was all college days. And I would fold it perfectly so then it looked like a movie strip thing. And I kept it on the back of my chair. And I'm getting up 100 times a day, and it's like life size. I had to take it down. After about a week, I'm like, I can't. I said, I'm gonna have to put you away. I said, I just can't.
It's tough.
I love that blanket, but I'm like, it just is like, boom, you just turn around, and her and Maddie just, life size. And I'm like, I'll get you back out. But I just, I don't need a constant reminder. I already have one, you know?
That visual on top of it.
Yeah. But yeah, and my friends were at work. We're like, well, yeah, you know, then put it away, you know, for sure. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to, like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
No, I don't think you're crazy.
I don't know.
Your mom.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch that Bryan said. Bryan says, I don't think you're crazy. You knew that was a really powerful moment. That was nice, reassuring that Bryan did that. That was nice as an interviewer to say that, to really have that heartfelt moment. I think he's really feeling the pain in that moment. That was a really nice touch, Bryan saying that. Let's hear that one back real quick.
Get you back out. But I just, I don't need a constant reminder. I already have one, you know?
That visual on top of it.
Yeah. But yeah, and my friends were at work. We're like, well, yeah, you know, then put it away, you know, for sure. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to, like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
No, I don't think you're crazy.
I don't know.
Your mom.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I think when the time is right for you, you'll know, like, when you want to go in a room, or, you know, it's like.
Yeah, I mean, I hope, because I think Kaylee would want me to go in there and sit and go through her things and smell her stinky sweatshirts and stuff. But I don't know.
You can't rush it. Just take your time. And just always put yourself in her position. If you were gone and she looked
That's
at
what everybody always tells me, and I'm like, that doesn't help me.
So she was looking at pictures of you and it was making her upset. And she's like, Mom, I'm going to have to put this in the closet for a day. Would you wait? No, you need to deal with my photo.
Yeah, I would be like, Kaylee.
I'm not that bad.
You're really going to put me in the dark closet?
Well, then you know.
But I love you.
I mean, you've got her pictures everywhere. I don't think she's gonna
right.
feel
And the
like
kids are
she's
already
not.
like, Mom, things
Yeah.
are getting a little shiny around
Yeah,
here.
I
And
feel
I'm like, and I'm like, no, okay. Like,
How many Kayleys have you done?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not. It's perfect.
Oh.
Perfect.
So you can see there was a little bit of loud.
All right, I'm just gonna cut this because it's just gonna be Bryan for the next 2 minutes. I want to kind of move on to something, but I think an amazing interview, and I always say this: when you are an interviewer and you are someone that is interviewing someone, the best interviewers are people that can just shut the fuck up and listen. And I'm learning that tactic, and I think I've employed that through my channel. When I have people on the panel, just let them talk, because it's not about you in that moment, it's about them. So let's do this really quick. We'll have a little bit of, I don't want to say fun, because that's really not a fun situation, but I did this video. Geez, man, I look ready for the beard. This is when I was still the opinionated idiot. This was 7 months ago. It premiered on March 26, 2023. And I wanted to learn how long 9 minutes felt, because that's what we thought that the crime was. It was 9 minutes. And we'll just take a little bit of this, and we'll play the intro, the old opinionated idiot intro, and we'll watch this, and then we'll end the stream. Intro? I don't even remember this intro. So long ago. Hey everybody, opinionated idiot here, and I am out. Look at the beard; it's so good. Washing my car today, beard back, and the reason that I'm doing this is I want to try to gauge how long 9 minutes is. Now we know that in the Idaho 4 crimes, the suspected time that Bryan Kohberger allegedly killed all 4 victims was in 9 minutes. So what I'm going to do today is wash my car to do a little bit of an experiment to see if we can get this down and just really see how long 9 minutes is. So I haven't paid for my car wash. I'm going to insert my credit card here and then drive into the car wash, and we'll see how long 9 minutes actually is, to see if I can actually wash my car in 9 minutes. And I'll throw a timer up on the screen when we start pulling forward. Oh, this is funny.
Please insert your credit card as shown. Insert fully into the slot. Please select your wash packet.
You can hear me doing it. Okay, so now Great I've beard, paid though, and I'm getting man. ready to pull So forward. good. So let's start the timer right
now.
I'm a little off too when I did it, but I'm just gonna speed it up here. We'll double time it because I don't want to kill everybody with this. All right, that is the signal to stop, and we'll see how long 9 minutes is. Maybe it takes 9 minutes to wash your car. Let's check it out. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think that it will? Let's see. Add a little music in there, and yeah, that's a little off. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. But guys, I'm going to end this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Again, it's not a total scientific experiment, but I wanted to give you guys a gauge of what 9 minutes really could be. Make sure to comment, like this video, share this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Hey everybody, thank you for checking out this video. If you like remember I used to wear the glasses today, remember I used to wear the glasses? Was in 9 minutes. Wait, let's go back. What I'm going to do today, right, to comment, like this video, share this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Hey everybody, thank you for checking. I actually need glasses, and if I do glasses, I'm going to do black rimmed glasses like that. Look at the sub count. Holy shit. Look at the sub count. 2480. Look where I am now. 12,129. Look at the sub count back then. Holy shit. That was 7 months ago. 7 months ago, I was at 2480. And now we're over 12,000. Holy smokes. Time has gone by. It's been such an amazing ride. I feel like it's been longer. I feel like it's been longer. 2480. Look at the sub count. Holy crap. That's incredible. Look at checking out this video. If you like the content here today, make sure to click on one of these videos up here. I would appreciate it. And before you head out, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on that bell notification so every time I drop a new video or go live, you guys will know. Thanks. That's it. So good. Wow, man. So much has changed. So much has changed. But here we are. ZZ Top, yeah. So much has changed. Look at this. 12,000 subscribers already in such 7 months. Wow. All right, everybody. It is late. It's getting late here on this Friday night. I am super comfortable now. I am super comfortable. And look what we've done. Look what we've done together here on this channel. Okay. This is not me. This is a community effort. Let's take a look real quick. And this is what I talk about. Okay. We've upgraded the name. We're now LTL. Let's Talk Live True Crime Podcast. Okay. We have better graphics and imagery. Okay. The videos and the presentations are better. Okay. We have all the live shows. I think I'm up to 166 live shows now. Okay. We've done multiple videos on Chelsea Grimm. I got to interview one of the PIs that were on the case. We've talked about the Karen Reed case. I've interviewed Turtle Boy. Okay. We've done multiple streams on the Idaho. And we had our original Looking Back series that go back 7 months ago. And the Moscow murders. We've talked about that. We have multiple streams. I have over 300 streams on that. We've talked about the Timepiece Gentlemen, scams and deceptions. We've called that out. True crimes across America. We've done our little, our little series of that. I'd like to bring that back too. And then all that members only content at the bottom of the page. And this is what it makes it worth to sign up for that membership. It's $1.99. Click that join button at the bottom of the page. $1.99 a month gives you all access to all that content down below. And there is tons of it that goes on and on and on. And if you go to my shorts at the end of the page. So we've grown so much. And I'm so proud of this community. And I'm so proud of all the people that have come over to LTL and made it what it is. And right now, I'm working on my second channel. And if you're not subscribed there, please subscribe to my second channel. I only need like 20 more people to subscribe to make that channel what I need it to be at. And I'm going to just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to drop that link. And if you haven't already, subscribe to that channel. And let me get that link ready. Actually, if I just do this, the link should be here. That should be it. Let's see if it comes up. If not, there you go right there. Take a moment, please. Let's get that to 500 subscribers. That's all I'm asking for. Just 500 subscribers. And then we're going to start doing some great content on that channel too. That's my rewind channel, but I have plans for it. So right now I'm at 483. If we could make that tonight, it would be amazing. 483. To get to 500, we need 17 more subscribers over there. Just 17. That's it. And maybe we can make that happen. And I'm going to start dropping new content over there. I have some plans for it, and I think it's going to be great. But we got to get it to that 500 membership. I think it'd be really cool. We get that channel up to 500 members, and we'll get there. Okay. That's my spiel for tonight. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't, please go over, subscribe to my second channel. We're so close. We're at 4. Let's look right now. I'm at 483. There's 92 people watching. I know that 17 of you are not subscribed to that channel. We need to get that second channel subscribed to 500 subscribers. I'll drop the link one more time. One more time, that link, 484. Appreciate you all. Take a second, go over, subscribe. I'm going to be belting out some new content over there, some new live streams, and I have some things in mind for that channel. But late night tonight, thank you all for being here. Thank you so much, Micro. Thank you, Turtle Rider. I appreciate you. But I'm going to get going. I appreciate so much. Yeah, make a dummy account. Let's get it to 500. Let me take a look. 488. You know what? Let's hang out. Let's hang out for a couple minutes. Maybe we can do 5. We'll get it to 500 tonight. Let's hang out for a couple more minutes. 488. We need literally like what? 12? 12? Am I right? 488, 500. Only 12 more members, 12 more subscribers, 12 more. And I'll drop the link again. Maybe we can get there live. It'd be great. Come on, dig deep. Right. We'll get there. 490. 490. Just 10 more. 10 more. 10 more subs. Thank you. Trying on that second channel. I know there's 10 people in here that are not subbed to that channel. Let's get that channel up. Let's get it over that hump. Then I can start making all that content over there. I'm going to do a second channel. I may rename it. It will probably definitely be a true crime channel. But right now it is called LTL True Crime Rewind. I kind of like that. Probably keep that there. But I don't know. We'll figure something out. Maybe rebrand it, do a little bit of different shtick. We're at 491. A loaf of bread a month. That's all it costs. That's right. Memberships. Where are we at? 491. 9 people. That's it. 9 people. 9. Just 9. Let's take a look. I'm already on there. Appreciate you. 493. We're close. 7. Let's do it live. Do it live. Let's do it live. Just 7 more people will get us there. 7 more. I'll drop the link again. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. Come on. Oh, you know what? Have you seen this yet? Thinking about doing this little let's see. Where are we at? Ooh, we only need 5. 5. 5. Just 5 more. 5 more subscribers over there to the second channel. I would appreciate it. Definitely would help it out. Very, very close. Then we can get it. 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 Get it, 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 get it. Ooh, we only need 4. You have to get that audio clip. Which one? Okay, I did it all on my YouTube accounts. Thank you. You have to get that audio clip, Brian. Which one? Fuck it. Let's do it live. We'll do it live. Yeah, you can't play it. It's copywritten. I'll get taken down. 100%. 100% will get taken down. All right, let's refresh. 498. 2 more. Please, 2 more. Just 2 more. 2 more. Let's do it. Let's do it live. Yeah, it'll get totally taken down. Yeah, Bill O'Reilly. Fuck it. That was good. That was good. That was good. 498. 2 more subscribers. That's it. Second channel. Let's get it. Let's get it over the top. Come on. Everybody's making their dummy accounts. 499. We're going to do it live. Do it live. I appreciate all of you. You guys are the greatest. She says, oh my God, my OCD handled these 2 getting left unsub. Thank you. We only need 1 more. That should get us over the top. Lay it in there. Thank you. Yes, all the subscribers. Let's get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Oh, we got to 500. Yes. 500. Let's get 1 more over there just to lock it up. But thank you. We got to 500 subscribers. 500 subscribers. I'll show you. Right there. 500 subscribers. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you. Good feeling. Now we can get that channel rocking and rolling over there. And I get some stuff planned. So we'll get some rocking and rolling over there. All right, everybody. I'm going to end the stream. We're coming up at 222. That sounds like a great number to end this at. I appreciate you all subscribing to my second channel. We're going to get that one rocking and rolling over there. And everybody have an amazing night. I probably will do a stream tomorrow night. I'm just going to think of what I'm going to do. I might dig up some more Idaho stuff or come back to Chelsea Grim and just keep beating that drum for Chelsea. Let's do it for Chelsea. What a great stream, by the way. Great stream. Thank you for everybody for being here. We held almost 100 people throughout the night, and I appreciate you all being here. Check out all my other content on that page. Become a member. Join our members only. Join our members only content in all our members only live streams. It's only $1.99. Hit that join button down below, and you can join. All right, I'm Brian. It's the LTL True Crime Podcast. I'll see y'all later. Have a great night. Bye-bye.